Thank you very much. No, it's an honor to be back here in Dauphin on behalf of the Manitoba Liberal Party to support all of you. You know, at last night's meeting, it was hard to hear sometimes. Those stories are tough because it really felt like we were watching a community's heart break. But it's also a community that's united and ready to fight. And the response I heard from the PC government and Brad was absolutely shameful. Because, you know, they'll talk about how they have to make tough decisions because they know they're hurting people. They know it. And they say they have to do it, but that is just not true. The Premier can find $200 million to bail out the Bomber Stadium when he needs to. He can find $300 million a year to pay for PSD cuts. And every single year for the last 4 years, the federal government has backed up a fleet of Brinks trucks to shovel money into the provincial government's coffers. This year alone, the federal government is going to provide $900 million more in transfer payments to this provincial government.
How many jails is that?
And if they hadn't cut the PSD, the budget would be balanced right now.
Yeah.
And this is important. It's important because there are going to be a bunch of people who say, well, we have to do this. You know, we have to keep cutting. And it's just not true. We should be building. We should be investing. And the PCs are choosing to keep running a deficit and to run up the debt to create a phony crisis to justify cuts like this one.
Yeah.
To justify cuts to education, to justify cuts to healthcare, and to justify closing this jail. And it's wrong and it shouldn't be happening. We should be building because cuts don't build anything. And make no mistake, there's all this talk of all hands on deck, but there is no shared sacrifice from this government. Not when the Premier keeps voting himself raises and tax cuts.
Shame.
It wasn't teachers or nurses or corrections officers or highway workers who caused this deficit. And it wasn't the town of Dauphin either. We still live in a democracy, not a dictatorship. And when the Premier says jump, we don't all have to say how high. We are with you. We won't give up. And as long as you fight, we will be by your side. Stay strong and thank you so much.